The late Jurassic sun beats down on a vast floodplain in what will one day become the American West. A small group of Stegosaurus moves slowly across the open ground, heads low, cropping at ferns and cycads with the unhurried calm of animals that have little reason to fear. They are remarkable creatures, each one carrying a double row of large, diamond-shaped plates running the length of its back, structures that scientists believe may have served for temperature regulation, species recognition, or display. At the tip of each animal's tail wait four long, sharpened spikes, a weapon capable of delivering devastating force to anything careless enough to provoke it. These are peaceful animals by nature, but they are far from defenseless, and every large predator in this ecosystem understands that fact. At the tree line, something watches. It stands almost 4 meters tall at the hip, stretching up to 10 meters from snout to tail, and it has been motionless for several minutes, a patience born not of indifference but of calculation. This is Allosaurus fragilis, the lion of the Jurassic, and it is one of the most formidable predators this planet has ever produced. Fossil evidence suggests Allosaurus was among the most abundant large theropods of the Morrison Formation, a vast ancient ecosystem stretching across what is now the western United States. Its skull is large and lightly built, with powerful jaws lined with serrated teeth designed not to crush bone but to slice through flesh. Its forelimbs are strong and equipped with 3 recurved claws, well suited for gripping struggling prey. Paleontologists believe Allosaurus may have used its upper jaw like a hatchet, driving it downward into prey with the force of its entire neck musculature rather than relying purely on bite strength. The Allosaurus watches the group of Stegosaurus for a long time. It likely reads the herd the way a predator learns to read every potential meal, scanning for weakness, for hesitation, for any animal slightly off from the rest. It moves from the tree line at speed, covering ground quickly on long, powerful hind limbs, and the floodplain erupts into motion. The Stegosaurus scatter with surprising speed for animals of their size. The Allosaurus focuses on one individual near the edge of the group, closing the gap with each stride. But the Stegosaurus has been here before. It turns, angling its body, and the thagomizer, the cluster of tail spikes, swings in a wide, controlled arc. The Allosaurus cannot stop in time. One spike catches it across the side of the neck, not a killing blow, but enough. The predator recoils, stumbles, and pulls back. The Stegosaurus holds its ground, tail still raised, and the moment passes. This is not an unusual outcome. Fossil evidence makes clear just how dangerous these encounters could be. Researchers have recovered an Allosaurus neck vertebra with a puncture wound that matches, with remarkable precision, the dimensions of a Stegosaurus tail spike. The predator on that occasion survived, but the record is a permanent reminder that hunting in this world came with consequences. The Allosaurus retreats into the forest with a wound that is painful but not serious. Days pass. The hunger deepens. An apex predator's life is not one of constant, easy abundance. It is a cycle of effort, failure, patience, and occasional success, and the gaps between meals can stretch far longer than most people imagine. The Allosaurus ranges across its territory, moving along ancient river channels and through open woodland, reading the landscape through scent and vision. Then, on the wind, there is a smell, rich, complex, unmistakable, the scent of a large carcass somewhere downwind. The Allosaurus follows it for more than a kilometer before it finds the source. A large sauropod, dead for at least a day, lies near the edge of a braided river channel. But the Allosaurus is not the first to arrive. Standing over the carcass, feeding with slow, deliberate purpose, is something larger. Torvosaurus tanneri was one of the biggest predatory dinosaurs of the Jurassic, a heavily built theropod that may have reached lengths rivaling or exceeding Allosaurus, with a more robust frame and jaws designed for handling very large prey. Paleontologists regard Torvosaurus as an ecological competitor of Allosaurus, an animal sharing the same vast landscape and likely targeting many of the same prey species and scavenging opportunities. There is no fossil evidence that the two species engaged in regular direct combat, and most researchers believe this absence reflects a genuine behavioral pattern, that both animals, as apex predators, understood the cost of serious injury. The Torvosaurus raises its head and faces the approaching Allosaurus. The display is unmistakable, a lowered posture, an open mouth, a slow shift in weight toward the intruder. It is not an invitation. The Allosaurus slows, stops, and stands at the edge of the clearing for a long moment. Then it turns and moves away. This is not weakness. This is the decision of an animal that has survived long enough to understand what a broken rib or a deep bite means for a solitary predator that must hunt to eat. More days pass. The Allosaurus grows lean. Its movements become more economical. And then, on a wide floodplain near a meandering river, it finds what it has been waiting for. A herd of Diplodocus is crossing the plain, dozens of animals, including adults that stretch beyond 25 meters in length, creatures so vast that a lone Allosaurus would have almost no realistic chance of bringing one down safely. Evidence suggests that Allosaurus primarily targeted younger, smaller, or weakened individuals rather than risking injury against fully mature sauropods. And there, near the far bank where the river shallows over gravel, a juvenile has drifted from the edge of the herd. It is young but not tiny, still a substantial animal, yet it is alone, distracted, and unaware. The Allosaurus moves along the riverbank using the vegetation for cover, reading the wind, adjusting its angle. When it finally commits, the explosion of movement is total. The juvenile sauropod lurches, calls out, tries to run, but the Allosaurus drives it toward the water where the footing is uncertain. It uses its claws and jaws in combination, slashing, gripping, wearing the animal down, and the struggle is prolonged and exhausting on both sides. But eventually the young Diplodocus weakens and falls, and the Allosaurus stands over it, breathing hard, finally still. There is no triumph in this moment, only survival. Every meal this animal has ever eaten has cost something. Every failure carried hunger. Every wound carried risk. Every confrontation with another predator required a calculation that went far beyond simple aggression. Allosaurus endured in the late Jurassic not because it was invincible, but because it was adaptable, persistent, and capable of making decisions that kept it alive long enough to succeed. That combination, power tempered by restraint, aggression balanced against caution, is precisely what made it one of the most successful predators in the history of life on Earth.